Associate Professor Jamus Lim.
Mr. Speaker, I will follow the precedent set by my fellow members and likewise extend my congratulations on your recent election. I'm also keenly aware that possibly one of the catalysts for this motion on the need for an independent and impartial speaker was because of an off-the-cuff remark made by the former speaker on the speech that I had delivered in response to the President's address to begin this House's second session. While any call for censure of the former speaker would appear to have been overtaken by events, I would like to offer some thoughts on two matters. First, on the reaction to the speech, and second, on the role of debate in policy making in a modern democracy. Former speaker had characterized the proposals I offered on policies targeted at alleviating the plight of the poor as populist. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, of course, and I do not fault him for having his own views on the matter. That said, I will only add that populist policies are those designed to appeal to the broad populace, hence the name, who feel aggrieved by the establishment. Populism is about arousing the raw emotion with a perception of an uncaring elite. To be clear, my intention was anything but. Rather, I was speaking up for a group that, by definition, is a minority. I would have hoped that it would not be seen as an effort to rally mass outrage, but an effort to flag concerns for a group that is often voiceless. Mr. Speaker, I will now move on to my second point, and that is policy making in a modern democracy is made better when there is active debate, even when we happen to disagree. When we were a developing nation, the sorts of optimal policies we should pursue, the pursuit of an economy open to international trade and investment flows, coupled with an orientation toward export promotion, for instance, or a keen respect for the rule of law and property rights, along with the importance of governance more generally, and socio-political stability, undergirded by meritocratic principles and respect for the equality of different races and religions. These were well understood, even if non-trivial to accomplish. Thanks to the pioneering generation of Singapore's leaders, however, we were able to build a foundation of economic openness, institutional quality, and social capital, which we, as subsequent generations, have been able to draw on and enjoy. These were the ingredients for Singapore's economic success and has made us into one of the richest economies in the world. While we should never allow the legacy of these hard-won policies and institutions to erode, the reality of a modern economy and society is that the way forward is no longer as certain. While many of the challenges of development were about getting these fundamentals right, the issues faced by a developed nation do not present as clear-cut a solution. Think about the matters that now occupy much of our political and parliamentary time. Issues like the need for greater social protection through the institution of a minimum wage, official poverty line, or unemployment insurance. Or a more vibrant intellectual environment that will allow our highly trained workforce the room to be creative and innovative. Or greater equality in sharing the fruits of our economic success via more progressive income or wealth taxation. Or tricky matters of individual liberty and social cultural norms, such as the debate over the repeal of 377A and the relative freedom of the media to publish their opinions. These examples are all fundamentally ones that involve trade-offs and redistribution, rather than efficiency and optimization. When that's the case, I believe it's impossible for us to successfully identify the right way forward for society unless there is genuine, passionate, and, dare I say, animated debate with proper respect for parliamentary decorum, of course. This is because I sincerely believe that we'll only arrive at a balance that society as a whole can accept when there's some degree of agitation toward a solution, and even if some may do so somewhat more grudgingly. This brings me back to our former speaker's original remark. This can only happen in a parliamentary setting where such differences of opinion are not only acquiesced to, but actually welcome. Do we deride what we disagree with and dismiss it with a convenient label? Or seek to score political points with ad hominem rebuttals? Or do we at least seek to understand the premise of the other's argument, giving them the benefit of the doubt, even if we may ultimately disagree with them? Can this occur anywhere but in the chamber where members feel that the freedom to air these alternative views with an adjudicator that they feel is independent and impartial? More generally, I'm hopeful that this government will not casually dismiss alternative, evidence-based policy proposals put up in good faith, but offer equally evidence-based counter-arguments when rejecting any given policy proposal. This comes down to a competition in ideas, and I do not believe any single person in this House will always carry the best ones. Academics, of which I am, are taught early on in their training to respect ideas regardless of their origin. That's why we subject our work to seminars and conferences, to peer-reviewed journals, and to public scrutiny where they are challenged and, more frequently than we would like, rejected. As much as nobody enjoys having their ideas shot down, the process of defending, refining, and revising our ideas is what makes them more robust and ultimately far more valuable. In the end, only the best ideas survive, and these are the ones that have the potential to go on and make a difference for both society and for the world at large. For the same reason, I believe we need greater competition in the politics, policies, and ideas that will bring Singapore forward into the next century. Mr. Speaker, I support the motion.
Deputy Leader, Mr. Zaki Mohammed.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of Leader, I beg to move that the proceedings on business set down on the order paper for today be exempted at this day's sitting from the provisions of Standing Order number 2, please.
The question is the motion moved by the Deputy Leader, Mr. Zaki Mohammed. As many as are of the opinion say aye. To the contrary say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it.